Stop behaving like that, Mako-chan. I have heard the annoying, repetitive phrase so many times. I still can hear her saying that. She was a scary woman, and growing up with her, I was often fearful of her. She's never received a Nobel Peace Prize. She's never appeared on the screen of TV. She's never appeared in any history textbooks. Even though she is not widely well known among people in today's world, she was very famous in my family for being very scary. But when I now look back, she is the strongest person I ever knew, my grandmother. As a strong grandmother, she demonstrated great perseverance. In her entire life, she had 3 big surgeries, and one even took a few hours to finish. And she also had a lot of medical checks, and right before each of them, she couldn't drink or eat anything. And she also had to deal with tough rehabilitation training and strong medicine. And she also had to put off her personal desire. Even though she liked to eat, she couldn't drink liquid, so she had to add special powder to it so that her body can swallow it properly. And even though she used to be an active person who liked to go around and move around, she couldn't travel because she had to stay in a bed all the time. As a strong grandmother, she showed selflessness greatly. One day, when I visited her hospital room, she gave me her yogurt, which was one of her dinner. She was supposed to eat it, but not me. But she knew that I like yogurt, so she gave it to me. And every time I visited her hospital room, she dragged her body and tried to make some space for me to sit down and put my bag on the bed. And she has stayed at the hospital for more than 5 months, but I've never heard her complaining. But she was the one who had really tough times fighting back diseases. She always said, "I am all right. Do not worry about me. By the way, how is your school life going?" Every time I asked her if she was okay, she said so. And she even cared about me, my family members, doctors, nurses, and even about other patients. One day, it was winter, and I was in her room. Then she said, "You do not have to come see me every day. It must be very cold outside recently. Also, you and your mother must be busy with school and work. Seeing your faces sometimes gives me enough energy to revitalize, so come see me sometimes. I do not want you and your mother to get sick, since I know how hard it is to get ill and stay in bed all the time with nothing to do." And one day, when I was in her hospital room until late time, she said with an angry face, "Go home now. It is getting darker outside. It is very dangerous to bicycle at night." And every time I visited her hospital room, she said sorry and thank you so many times. And she cared about doctors and nurses' health, since she knew that they are working really hard until midnight. And one thing she kept doing is that she asked the nurse to keep the volume of the music low, even though she was using her earphones. She wanted to avoid annoying other patients. As a strong grandmother, she acted persistently. When my grandmother was carried to the hospital, a doctor there said that she might pass away that day. But she, in fact, has survived for more than 5 months after the announcement. And even though she was skin and bones and was too weak to walk on her own, she tried to practice a lot. She had a lot of rehabilitation trainings, once every 2 days, and she started off a wheelchair and tried to work on her organ. And she tried to speak even though the sound didn't come out from her throat properly. She had to make a big hole here in her throat in order to put in the tubes to breathe. She couldn't speak, but she tried to speak, and she tried to speak slowly and open her mouth widely so that others can recognize what she's trying to say. She also tried to communicate by writing her thoughts down on a little whiteboard. And at first I saw a little weakness in her writing, to be honest, but soon I found beautiful one as great as hers in the past. And in her spare time, she also played crossword puzzles to keep her writing ability and memory ability. She died in February last year. She scolded me many times. I thought she was annoying, and I was often fearful of her. But I now miss my grandmother. Even though she is not here with me now, she still lives in my heart. She demonstrated 3 qualities: perseverance, selflessness, and persistence. Even while she was at the hospital. I want to thank her and live my life so that she can be proud of me and say, "Fantastic job, Mako-chan." Thank you very much.